Hey, what's up? Alex here. Earlier this year, I've decided to install home security camera system in our parents' place. There can be all sorts of use cases for security cameras. My first reason is simply because our parents have reached the age where we'll be kind of worried about their safety at home. So even when we are not staying together, the cameras can help to keep an eye on them. Second reason, there's an increasing number of loan shark scammer cases happening. Having cameras installed outside of the house can act as a form of deterrence. When people see cameras, they won't tend to do something funny. Personally, I've also experienced certain unfortunate events in life that made me realize the importance of having cameras installed at home. Okay, some other more common reasons can be because you have helper at home, you have babies or kids, or even pets that you want to monitor what's happening at home. So as always, I've gathered a bunch of cameras from companies that are well known in this space. Tapo, Ezviz, Eufy, Arlo, Ubiquiti, and Google Nest. I'll list down the exact camera models that I'm using. Typically, it will consist of a wired camera for indoor use, a battery-powered camera for outdoor use, their video doorbell, and a central storage hub provided if their solution has one. Here's the lineup from the cheapest to most expensive. First is the solution from Tapo, C420 wireless bullet camera, TC72 wired pan-tilt zoom, and D230S1 doorbell that comes together with a chime that doubles as the hub. Next is the solution from Ezviz. I have the HB8 wireless pan-tilt zoom, H7C wired pan-tilt zoom, and the EP3X Pro doorbell. Next is Google Nest, which I've been using for my home setup. The Nest Cam indoor wired, the Nest Cam battery, and the Nest doorbell battery version. Next is the solution from Arlo Essential Gen 2 series. The outdoor wireless cam, the indoor wired cam, the video doorbell 2K, and the Arlo Pro Smart Hub. Next up is Eufy. I bought the S300-3C kit, which comes with two wireless cameras and their home base tree. This is actually in 4K, so in terms of price comparison, this would be much lower if I bought the 2K version. For wired camera, I got the E220 pan-tilt zoom. Video doorbell is E340. Lastly, most expensive one is from Ubiquiti. All their cameras are PoE, wired. I'll be using their G5 Bullet and G5 Flex. Doorbell is the G4 Doorbell Pro, and in terms of central storage, it will be the Cloud Key Plus, which is also used to run their Unifi Protect. For Tapo, Eufy, and Arlo, these are products that you can easily buy off the shelves from retail or from mega electronic stores. For Unifi, just visit their official web store. For Google Nest, although the official Google store in Singapore doesn't carry any of these products, but you can always get it from the US site or from Shopee or Lazada, where there are tons of sellers with good reviews selling them. Same applies to Ezviz. Okay, some popular brands that I did not include in my testing are Reoling. I'm really very interested in their products, but they seem to exit the Singapore market already. Another one is Ring. With Amazon not having a presence in Singapore, I'm not sure whether to check out their products. I'm also not looking at products from those smart home manufacturers like Aqara, Switchboard, Tuya, or this. I think what they provide is something very basic, not at the level of comparison with these companies in my lineup today. I believe the most practical review of these solutions is to actually install them for the everyday use for a period of time, then share my user experience with everyone. For Unifi Protect, I have that installed in my office warehouse. If you are interested in the setup process, I have a video on which you can go check that out. For Eufy and Ezviz, I have them installed in our respective parents' place. Both are HDB apartments. Tapo is installed in our relatives' condo, family of 5 with 2 kids, a helper and a dog. As for Google Nest and Arlo, both are tested in my own house. So after all the testing and among these 6 solutions, which is the best security camera system? This is actually not a difficult choice. By far, the Unifi Protect is the best in almost every aspect. From the camera quality to the software app in terms of its maturity and stability, Unifi Protect sits on a tier by itself here. But besides the price that is on the higher end, most of the houses, especially here in Singapore, will have difficulty installing their cameras because all of them are PoE, powered over Ethernet. This means that the home network needs to have a PoE switch, and you need to have a network cables at all the points that you want the cameras to be placed. This itself is a lot of electrical work. But let's say if you are able to implement this setup, then you are going to have a very fast and reliable home security system. You can easily pick whether you want to do 24/7 recording or just events recording. Besides motions events, the AI events include animals, people, or vehicles. There are also audio events like smoke alarms and baby crying. If you are looking for a camera to monitor the baby, this is a must-have feature. Within these events, you have options to select how long to start the recording before and after the event. Able to set different notification preferences for each of the cameras. Notifications are timely and informative with clips of the captured motion. There are night vision settings to choose between performance or quality. To watch the recordings, you can easily switch between events or timeline. You can customize a live view dashboard which you can view on a web browser. All these features that I just mentioned are well implemented in the system, and apparently this is not something common across all the other brands. So this becomes like a gold standard that I will take to compare with all the other solutions. Next, which company has the most range or variety of cameras? Technically, this does not really mean anything, but just to give everyone an idea how big is the company in terms of manufacturing these security cameras. Ezviz probably has the biggest product catalog, but I would say Tapo and Eufy would probably have a model in every category that you might be looking for as well. For the rest, Arlo, Unifi, and Google Nest, they only have around 10 or less SKU, which is quite a big difference. Okay, so cameras can come in so many different forms, shapes, and sizes that can be very confusing for the average consumer. At the very basic level, you have indoor or outdoor cameras, wired or wireless, or even solar-powered models. As for shape, there are bullet, turret, dome, pan-tilt zoom, and floodlight cameras. Do note that every country will have its own limited release models, but it doesn't really matter that much because you can always buy from Amazon.com and search for the camera models you want there. There are basically two types of recording, 24/7 recording or events recording. So again, to me, Unifi Protect is the best for both of these. But if we don't compare with Unifi, then which is the best? This might come as a surprise. I would say Arlo or Google Nest, depending on whether you prefer local or cloud storage. But both requires you to top up with their subscription plan. An important feature for those people that are looking for 24/7 recording is having a live view dashboard that allows you to view all the cameras together. It's something like the security you typically saw in the movies where they are looking at the live footage of all the cameras. Apparently, only Arlo and Google Nest have this feature working very well. You have the option to view on a web browser for both of them. For Google Nest, navigate to home.google.com and you have a dashboard that could fit about 6 cameras or 4 cameras plus a Nest doorbell. You can also do that via a tablet. Inside the Google Home app, navigate to cameras or even the favorites page. Every time you'll be able to catch the live view with almost no loading time. For Arlo, they have a web client where you can log in and create a dashboard with the camera widgets. Exactly the same as the mobile app. On a tablet, it scales to the tablet screen size, which is nice, but at best, you're only able to view 2 cameras via the app. For Tapo, you only have the mobile app, which doesn't scale even when viewing on a tablet. Although you are able to watch the camera's live view at the same time, same case as Arlo, you can only view 2 of them at most. For Ezviz, they have a Ezviz HD app for tablet. Although you are able to see many cameras on the devices page, but you are only able to see the live view when you go into individual cameras. For Eufy, if you go under Control Center, you'll be able to find Web Portal Access, generate a safety pin and key that pin inside the Web Portal Access. Seems like it's able to contain 4 cameras on the screen, but unfortunately, clicking on one camera view will stop showing the view of the previous camera. In other words, it can only play one camera at any one time, which is the same case over at their mobile app. Besides that, it seems that not all camera models are supported on the web portal view. The E220 just wouldn't load. However, if you're not bothered with having a live dashboard, then all of these solutions do support 24/7 recording without any subscription plan. With the Nest Aware Plus subscription, all your Google Nest cameras are now able to do 24/7 recording with a retention period of 10 days. This is using Google Cloud Storage, so no need to get any micro SD card or hard disk. For Arlo, you can use the Arlo Smart Hub or base station, which connects to an external hard disk for storage. For the rest, you have an option of using local storage or subscribe to their cloud storage. For Tapo and Ezviz, you have to get a micro SD card and slot one into every single camera. For Eufy, you can make use of their home base, where you can install a 2.5-inch hard drive inside for central storage. Okay, one thing to remind everyone about doing 24/7 recording is that the cameras must be wired and always connected to a power source. If you are only able to use wireless cameras, then you can only choose what we call events recording. Events recording are triggered by a motion detection event. It is then the camera will start recording for a fixed period of duration or until the motion detection ends. This means that it's not suitable to point a wireless camera at an area with lots of human traffic and do events recording. The battery will simply die within a few days. For outdoor surveillance, most likely we will go with battery-powered cameras and do events recording because it's much easier to install. For HDB or condo, this kind of apartment housing, I would say at most you just need 1 or 2 cameras max plus a video doorbell. Okay, so the best for events recording, I'll give it to Eufy. Close runner-up is Google Nest. The most important features here are motion detection settings and notifications. For Eufy, you are able to set the detection sensitivity and select the detection type. Human recognition is also very useful here. In terms of notifications, you also have options, and from my experience, Eufy's notification has been very timely and accurate with a thumbnail. Another point to mention specifically on the Eufy Cam 3C model is that it is still able to function even when your Wi-Fi is down, because the cameras connect to the home base via a separate isolated network. The Google Nest notifications are the best among all because it's not just a thumbnail on a notification, but a short video preview. The notifications are also very timely and accurate. The best thing is you can even set notification preferences for different users. For example, I can set push notifications detecting animals for myself, and my other half, she can totally off push notifications for that specific camera. For Tapo, you need to subscribe to Tapo Care in order to enable their reach notification. For Arlo, you can't even set notification preference on different cameras. For Tapo and Ezviz, when you share the camera device to family members, they won't be able to change the notification settings or even any settings. This is something which I really don't get it why it's implemented this way. Ezviz and Arlo also like to spam you with a bunch of notifications at the same time. The message is not very meaningful and most of the time with no thumbnails attached to the notification at all. Okay, so to summarize and conclude, let me do a quick tier list on where I think these solutions overall stand. So if I include all the subscriptions and unlock all features and functionality, this is how I will rank them. Unifi Products sits at the S tier by itself. At A tier, I have Eufy and Google Nest. For B tier, that will be Arlo, Tapo, and Ezviz. For me, I think those camera products from those smart home companies will probably sit at C tier. And of course, there are still many brands out there like Rolling, Wise, Ring, and Blink. But I think this is a good start for me, learning all these home camera security systems and sharing my thoughts with everyone. Let me know what do you think of my tier list, which camera systems are you using, and if I've given any false information, please let me know in the comments below. Next video, I will zoom in and focus just on video doorbell. Thanks for watching, see you in the next one. Bye.